Welcome to 2024, everybody. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd, brand new year. Hope you had a fantastic new year with friends and family. In this video, I've got an exciting one starting off the year right. I finally got my stuck Litecoin transaction. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, and there was quite a few people in the comments and on social media that I spoke with that said this happened to them. So I wanted to come on, let everybody know that, like I said, we're starting the year off right. I did get some good news. I just got it back yesterday. So my stuck Litecoin that was basically broadcasted to the blockchain and then disappeared and was basically in limbo finally got returned to me. And I'm not really 100% sure why. I'll go over my potential reasoning, but as of right now, I don't have any concrete proof. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, make sure to give us a follow over on X, which is formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPal. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So like I said, I made this video regarding my stuck Litecoin transaction. It was stuck for over a week, and a lot of people said that this happened to them. So I made that video to try to get to the bottom of it. Maybe somebody ran into a similar issue. Nobody had any real solutions or answers. So I wanted to make this video because, like I said, I haven't really found anything on the internet saying, any updates to this or saying why. But I wanted to come on and let everybody know and just assure you that I did get my Litecoin back. So if this did happen to you, hopefully this video is helpful. But essentially, this is a follow-up video to that stuck transaction. And that transaction, if you go to x.com, just go over, like I said, follow @GroupPal and scroll down. I mentioned this is what happened. So I sent it from my ledger. It was on a Nano S. And a lot of people were saying, oh, it was a legacy issue. You sent Litecoin from the legacy chain. And it wasn't a legacy issue. The only thing that I did differently was I selected the low fee instead of medium or high. And when I selected the low fee, it basically got stuck in no man's land. It was stuck in cyberspace. If I selected medium or high, it worked fine. So what happened was initially it got sent to the blockchain, and then after, I don't know if it was like a few hours, I can't remember the exact time frame, but then eventually I refreshed and it said no transaction found with the hash, but it had already left my Ledger wallet and I couldn't find it. The amount wasn't in my wallet and I couldn't find it on the blockchain. Didn't arrive at my other address, and then, like I said, I went in and I selected medium, and when I selected medium or high transaction, it sent Litecoin within a matter of minutes. So there was some sort of glitch going on with regards to this particular transaction. And like I said, it could be a mix of Ledger, could be a mix of Litecoin, but like I said, I've never had this happen before with any of the other high speed coins, I call them, right? I think, kind of, if you look at what Bitcoin is and Litecoin is, Litecoin was a fork of Bitcoin, but essentially, it's basically dial-up internet, right? Just because it's first doesn't mean it's going to have staying power. I do think there's a place in the world for every cryptocurrency potentially, that's in the top 20. There might be, a few hundred cryptocurrencies total. I don't think there's room for 20,000 or, however many thousands there are out there. I think there's only going to be, like to quote Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple, he said, scores. I think, 1% or 2% of the cryptos that are out there will more than likely stand the test of time. Look at pets.com back in the .com, rush and bull run that we had back then in the rise of the early days of the internet. Well, as we know, the leaders and the true winners didn't really emerge until later on, and a lot of those, fly-by-night ones went away, right? So I think this is similar situation. I do think that, proof of work doesn't work, and this is a clear example of that. I mean, imagine if that would have been a large amount of Litecoin, maybe 10 Litecoin or something like that, and or maybe it was 100 Litecoin, right? That's a lot of money to be out and just sitting there in limbo. And I didn't even do anything differently. So if anybody else if this has happened to anybody else and you may have an idea as to why this happened, please let me know. But like I said, as far as I'm aware, it was just a crazy glitch. And like I said, finally yesterday I got it back. So you can see this was dated. And if you're wondering if this happened to you and you still haven't gotten yours back and you're wondering how long, well, again, this video that I published was just a couple of weeks ago. I published it on Sunday, December 24th, and I sent the transaction on December 17th, 2023. So if we take a look at December 17th, so it was a little over 2 weeks. So essentially it was 15 days and I finally got it back. So if you're still within that 15-day window, it might
come anytime soon. If you're past that window, it may come soon as well. It may just have to wait a little bit longer. But I did some research, and there was some potential reasoning with regards to the mempools finally dropping the transaction. There was some stuff that I found that pointed to maybe it was a ledger issue, but I've never had that problem before sending anything from ledger, and I verified everything was up to date. Never had that issue before. And like I said, I've sent other cryptos like XRP, I've sent Algo, I've sent XLM from the same, device, from the same Ledger Live app that I was using, and it would be there to my other wallet in a matter of seconds. Like with XRP, it's literally 3 seconds and it's there with finality, right? And fraction of a penny fee. So I don't know. It hasn't happened with any other crypto. It's the first time that it's happened, but it doesn't really seem like a solution for the future, in my opinion. But hopefully this video was helpful. And like I said, if your transaction was stuck like mine, hopefully this video is helpful. And hopefully just with, a little bit more waiting, you should get it back. But let me know in the comment section below if this has happened to you. Like I said, in the comments, there was some people who said that they were dealing with the same situation. So hopefully this video can bring some peace to you, and maybe just some reassurance that if you haven't received it yet, you should receive it soon. But like I said, it was a kind of a nice thing to wake up to on New Year's and see that I finally had my Litecoin. Needless to say, I have sold most of my Litecoin. I think I already mentioned that. I can't remember if it was on that video or if it was in a post on X, but essentially I liquidated half of my Litecoin holdings, and I bought more HBAR and I bought more XRP. And I do think that, Litecoin is definitely undervalued. I think it could be one of the next winners in the next bull market. But for me, it's just hard to support, antiquated and dinosaur tech, right? I truly compare Bitcoin to the dial-up days of the internet, right? Just because it was first doesn't mean it had staying power, and didn't mean that we weren't going to innovate beyond it, right? And to be quite frank, you got like the XRPs, right, which was a lot of the early Bitcoin developers. They created the XRP ledger. They looked at the Bitcoin blockchain and they said, there's a lot of flaws, there's a lot of issues, and they were looking to make a better Bitcoin. And David Schwartz, one of the original programmers in Bitcoin, and he committed a lot of code to Bitcoin. He was one of the co-founders of XRP, and then later on, a couple of years after the XRP ledger was created, the company Ripple began, right? And David Schwartz is the CTO there. So a lot of commingling between the two, a lot of mixing between the two. Ripple's a centralized company and private company, whereas XRP is a decentralized blockchain and digital currency, right? So I consider, like, the XRPs, the XLMs, the HBARs, the algos, the high-speed internet of Web 3 versus, Bitcoin and Ethereum being the prototypes and more of the dial-up. But like I said, I do think there is places for these cryptos potentially in the future. I just don't think that, we're going to see thousands and thousands of them. But, maybe Bitcoin ends up being a store of value, the de facto store of value. To be honest, I'm not 100% sold on that. I also don't like the fact that, we still don't know who created it. Homeland Security said they met with the 4 Satoshis. They said it was a group of people, but yet they don't want to talk about it. And like I said, it just doesn't seem like a solution for the future when you go to send a transaction, and, whether it be Bitcoin, to take, multiple hours, if not, days to send a transaction, depending on high congestion and network activity, or, paying more of a fee than you would for a coffee. It doesn't really make any sense to transact in that. And then you got your spend the bits, right, which is another solution. And, you can send Bitcoin basically on the XRP ledger. And then, Ethereum gas fees, we all know, are ridiculously high, and it's proof of stake, and it rewards the rich, right? The rich get richer in that scenario. Whereas, with XRP, like I've said, the best incentive is no incentive, and not just XRP, with all, transactions, right? And then Litecoin, Bitcoin, the miners are selecting the highest fees first, right? So it's not really a fair and orderly way of running it, in my opinion. And I think that there's just better opportunities out there. Like I said, do I think Litecoin will stand the test of time? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think that it could be, some of those, it could be a use case, or it could be used in conjunction with multiple other cryptocurrencies, right? But I just don't see it as a viable solution for the future when I could use like an XRP, right? Or an XLM, Algo, HBAR. It's there in seconds. It settles with finality. in seconds and fraction of a penny. But like I said, great news that I was able to get that back, and hopefully this video was helpful. And if you're still waiting on your stuck Litecoin transaction, let me know if this video was helpful, and let me know when you do get it, if you get it resolved. If you have any other clues as to what might have happened, please let me know, and we can circulate that amongst the community and hopefully help out a few more people. All right, hope you have a fantastic day. Welcome to 2024. Wishing you a great year ahead. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. We'll see you again on the next video.